Ladies, we do currently live in an age of throwaway culture. We buy things and we plan on using it a couple of times, maybe even once, and then we dispose of it. And you know what? I feel this becomes actually relationship mentality. We go into two minds. We either give up on someone, dispose them away way too soon, or we do the complete opposite and we stick around and we continue to invest into someone when they are not doing the same for us. Sometimes we end up letting someone have more of our time and we kind of gaslight ourselves to think that they like us more than they do because that's how much we like them. We lie to ourselves. So, of course, it can be hard to have this dynamic of knowing whether you should keep trying with someone or if you should throw things away. So let's dive in deep into the many different signs that the person that you are with is right for you and that you should continue trying with him. Let's go. Okay, tip 1 is the equal conversation. Communication is vital in any relationship, but more so with the romantic ones. A huge sign that many ladies actually overlook is auto-assuming that the guy that they are talking to via text or phone calls is always busy, and that's a reason why it's okay to be ignored. Now, life does get busy. People do lots of overtime shifts and they have personal problems. However, a guy should still be trying to invest into you and talk to you, even if it just means sending you a text once a day to even apologize for his absence. Equal conversation is a sign that you should continue to invest in this guy. Now, an example would be, hey babe, I'm so sorry. I'm really overwhelmed at the moment with lots of things. I will be in touch with you as soon as I can. If you receive regular messages like that, it's okay. Checking in from time to time is a perfect example of him actually having some stuff going on, but still wanting to communicate with you. Now, on the other hand, if you feel that you are always asking him to call you back, you are always saying, hey babe, can you text me, let me know what you're up to? If you find yourself literally looking at your phone constantly, and then you notice you've actually sent him 5 messages in the space of him sending 1, well, this is not a good sign. Also, if a guy becomes aggressive when you question why he's not been in touch with you, this is a sign you should move on. And of course, if a guy is too needy and messages you way too much, that's also a sign you gotta move on. They invest as much as you. Investing in a relationship actually looks different depending on which stage of the relationship you are in. For example, if you guys are at the beginning, you should merely be trying to set up dates. One person takes charge to organize a romantic event and then the other person does it for the next time. But then, as soon as that relationship progresses, one person decides that maybe they are always going to take on the cleaning of the weeks that you are working overtime. There's always this balance, and it does shift depending on how mature the relationship is. But you need to sit down and think, is this person investing in the growth of the relationship and in the growth of us as people? Because not every relationship is going to involve marriage or children or buying a house. So the most important investment is the mentality of the other person that you are with. Are they investing in their life and in your life too, and their own mental attitude, as much as making sure that life is easy for you? For example, if you are working, let's say overtime, to save up for something that you really want to buy, your partner knows this and he knows how important it is, but when you get home, he expects you to do all the cooking and all the cleaning on your limited time off. Well, this is not a healthy investment. But what is if he goes out of his way to make your life a little bit easier, because he can think to himself, she's gonna struggle this week, so I want to just pick up these chores to make sure she's relaxed when she comes home. This is only a blip. Maybe you clicked on this video because things have been going amazing and then all of a sudden they stopped. If you can look with a fresh pair of eyes over the entirety of your relationship and you understand that this current moment where things feel a little bit different is only a blip, it's only temporary, then this is a sign that you should continue with him. If this thing has cropped up where he's a little bit distant and he's not getting in touch with you and you haven't resonated with the previous tips, that's a good thing. However, if you've realized that this guy has not really been investing into you from day one, it's a sign sign this is actually him as a person. He's not healthy for you. If a guy that you are with has suddenly just disappeared off grid and it takes him a while to get back in touch, he's no longer investing in you as much as he did, but it could be he has a lot of stress going on. He's dealing with something that maybe he's ashamed to share with you, or he doesn't feel he can share it with you just yet. You need to explore it first. You are not coming from a place of trauma. A lot of us that have experienced traumatic backgrounds with parents and caregivers, if we do not solve these issues through therapy, we actually end up dating carbon copies of our parents. So if you find that you are constantly dating unavailable guys, it might be to do with the fact that your parents were never emotionally there for you, and therefore you are dating something which feels familiar, and which means obviously you stick around in relationships longer than you should. So take a look at yourself and think, am I dealing with my trauma? Am I wanting to make things work out with this guy who's not great for me because I'm coming from a place of being selfish? I'm expecting him to soothe my anxiety. I'm willing to accept anyone's attention. Or do I genuinely love this person for him, flaws and all? Now, if you can honestly say that you are not trying to fix this relationship from a state of trauma, it's a sign things are good and it's worth investing in this guy, because maybe he just needs a little bit of a kick up the behind. Expectations and actions. When we start dating, we don't realize that we are dating someone to love the person for who they are, not for what they give to us. And then we crack that code and relationships become a lot easier. Before we learnt this rule though, we do end up giving people what we want in a relationship instead of what they want. For example, love languages. So take a look at his actions. Is he loving you for you and speaking to your love language? Is he able to put his life aside momentarily to make sure you are feeling loved? Because if you are not, then it's a sign you guys should not be together and you need to stop trying. He adds value to your life. Now, of course, we don't expect someone to change our life when we date them. We are responsible for our own happiness. But naturally, we do look for people that have qualities that we are comfortable with, or qualities that we would like to invest in ourselves. And when we receive these qualities from another person, it actually helps to improve our life in some small way. So, have a think to yourself, is this guy providing value to your life? Is he making your life better? Does he make you feel like a better person? Are you kinder? Are you happier now? Are you more optimistic about your future? If you feel these feelings, and they are very positive ones, it's a sign he's a good person to be dating and you need to keep on trying with him. You have healthy fights. It could be you just clicked on this video because you and him had a small fallout. It's perfectly okay to have your doubts after a fight for a couple of moments. However, if those thoughts linger for a day, or maybe 2 or 3 days, it's a sign you need to explore them more. Start to evaluate the fights and the arguments that you have. If he fights dirty, says cruel things and really upsets you so much that you feel you are walking on eggshells to not set him off again, this is a sign this person is not right for you. However, if you both can have your disagreements, which are perfectly normal in a relationship, you both walk away, take your own time before you reconnect again, and then you talk about that argument in a healthy way, this is a sign to keep on trying. Because remember, we get to choose the people we are dating, so we want to make sure we are choosing emotionally healthy ones. He is willing to talk about the negatives. One of the biggest signs that someone is right for you and is willing to grow with you is someone that can take on the negatives. They can apply them and work through them. Let's say, as an example, you had to sit down with him and you had to say, "Babe, what you said to my friend at the dinner table the other day, that really offended her and I felt ashamed for it." If he confronts that and says, "I didn't realize, I'm so sorry, tell me exactly what I should have done and how I can change this behavior," and if he actively works on that, that's a good thing. If a guy is able to really sit with his own emotions and apologize and recognize he feels that a little bit of shame and then correct his behavior, it's a great sign. Having that small element of being vulnerable with communication is a great sign that you should keep on trying, because he's willing to grow. Let's face it, every couple has arguments as that power dynamic shifts, and you will need to be able to sit down and talk through your issues from time to time in order for that relationship to last long term. There you are, ladies. I hope this video has really helped. If you resonated with a tip in today's video, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. See you soon. Like and subscribe.